Chapter 27 Black Market. Summary. The search for spice has led the Terrans into the big city's local, friendly black market. How fun! This was bullshit. Apparently, the reason Katsuki couldn't find anything spicy was that capsaicin was a black market grade poison. Maybe the eye patch fucker was pulling one over on him, but Katsuki didn't think so. He actually looked pretty freaked the fuck out when Deku said the chemical formula for what they were looking for. But if this was a trick, Katsuki's sure that guy doesn't need all his arms. 4 is way too many anyway. So Katsuki was going along with what that sentient had said, for now, looking for some big red dude named Ralt. Apparently, she'd finally have something spicy for Katsuki. He was on high alert as the group walked through the sketchy, thin paths between stalls. He wasn't particularly happy to be dragging the rest of the group into what apparently was the town's local black market, but he'd come this far. And anyway, he's sure everything will be fine. As long as the dumbasses don't leave his sight, he can protect them. Lo and behold, after only a minute of walking, now deeply submerged in the black market, he saw the guy. Big, rough-looking, bright red skin, thick yellow claws, and broad shoulders with yellow scales patterning them. Definitely the guy. "Hey!" Katsuki gruffly starts. "I'm looking for some capsaicin. Heard you were the right guy to go to." The big sentient smiles smugly at the apparent praise. "You heard right, kid. Don't know what someone so young like yourself would want it for. Trying to off your parents or something?" Katsuki could feel himself involuntarily stiffen. He wasn't going to think about her right now. Nope, he wasn't going to do this. He was on a mission, and he wasn't going to let that woman control him all the way out in fucking space. Even so, he could hear the stiffness in his own voice as he spoke. "I'm using it for cooking, not offing anyone, dumbass. Best thing you ever tasted." Thread Lug's face scrunched up in confusion. "Cookin'? You do know that this will kill ya. Don't really care about what happens to you personally, but I do prefer returning customers. Which can't be if you die." Katsuki was starting to get frustrated. "I won't die if I eat it, old woman. Now, how much?" "For 10 grams? 900 credits. The woman plainly stated. "You're shitting me! That's like $150 for a cooking spice," Katsuki argued. He could feel he was close to sparking. Being angry always made him sweat more, which made him need to spark off to get rid of excess nitroglycerin. But this was not the time and place to let off mini firecrackers. Not the kind of people that should even get an inkling of what they are. "It's not a cooking spice. It's one of the most potent poisons out there. And 10 grams is more than a lethal dose. It's not on me that you're suicidal or some shit," the woman argued back. This wouldn't do. Katsuki was walking out of here with more than enough spice to last him the rest of their stay, and he was doing it on his terms. "What about a challenge?" Katsuki proposes. "What kind of challenge are you talking about? I don't do discounts, kid." Katsuki gives her a menacing smile, teeth fully on display. He can see the sentient getting a little unnerved by his slightly manic demeanor, but he didn't stop. "If I eat some right here, right now, you give it to me. 20 credits a gram. If I don't die, I get my spice. If I die horribly, you get some nice free advertising for your premium goods. Call it a product demonstration. Now, do we have a deal?" The burly sentient looked Katsuki up and down slowly, with her toxic yellow eyes, before letting out an amused huff. Loudly, to the crowd of people who gathered at the other stalls, the woman said, "Apparently, we're gonna have a demonstration. This guy here," gesturing to Katsuki offhandedly, Thinks snacking on some capsaicin sounds like fun. So we made a deal. If he lives, the gathering crowd chuckled at the apparent audacity. He gets a discount. If he, shock, horror, somehow doesn't live after consuming a lethal dose of the most universally toxic substance known on this side of the galaxy, you folks get a lovely demonstration of my product. She quickly snatched up a sealed jar of an unassuming red powder from behind her counter and handed the glass bottle to Kotsky. It didn't look like very much, just a pinch. He's sure the concentrated capsaicin could pack quite a punch. Hotter than any pepper on Earth, that's for sure. After a quick scan with the tablet to make sure it was indeed capsaicin and not actually poisonous, Kotsky unsealed the lid and downed the whole thing in one go. He was probably going to regret this. The effect was immediate. A pleasant burning sensation on his tongue, even as he swallowed as fast as he could. It was okay for now, the kind of mild spice that didn't really interest him anymore. But then, it began to get hotter. Slowly, it crept up to his preferred level of spice. AKA, say goodbye to your taste buds because you're eating the sun itself. Before creeping steadily past it. He was panting hard now. The burning was past anything he'd felt before. He could feel even more sweat beading on his skin than before. He really needed to spark off before he blew some poor sap sky high. Scratch that. He felt like he was gonna puke. Nope, actually, he was gonna die. This is really the good shit. As you can see, the shopkeep proclaimed to the relatively large crowd, the poison takes immediate effect and leads to a painful death. Painful irritant makes it feel as though the victim's mouth and esophagus are on fire, while the toxin is swiftly absorbed into their system. The shitty shopkeeper was talking like Kotsky had one foot in the grave. Ha! She couldn't be more wrong. Sure, maybe the straight concentrated capsaicin was above his tolerance, but he could already feel the heat dissipating. He doubted this was even the pure stuff. Shitty poison seller. He was able to swallow most of the powder without it coming into contact with his mouth. The portion that did, sure, it was spicy, but it wasn't going to literally kill him. So, he definitely didn't wheeze out. When should this kill me? The red sentient looked startled that he could talk, but she didn't let her showmanship drop for even a second. Any minute now. Was it worth getting the chance at a discount? Kotsky scoffed at the woman as he straightened up and wiped the sweat from his brow. Yep, just wondering when I can cash out on my discount. Just so you know, I'd like 100 grams. Should be plenty for cooking. I'll only need a pinch for a full meal. Hot as shit, this stuff. The worst had passed by now, and while he's sure his face is still red, he was already feeling much better. The lingering burning would stick around for a bit, but that's what he wants in a spice. At this point, the burly alien was looking nervous. The obvious anxiousness grew with each passing minute. Finally, after 5 more minutes without Kotsky dropping dead, she finally admitted defeat. Well, fuck. I guess you really didn't die. Don't think I've ever heard of a species other than the odd death worlder that can survive a dose of capsaicin, and certainly none that eat it for pleasure. You sure are one crazy bastard, but I'm a woman of my word. But this is a one-time discount. Don't expect this again. The remaining crowd seemed disappointed that they wouldn't get to see a child die a horrible death today and moved on. Just like she said, the sentient gave Kotsky the discount, and they walked out of there with 100 grams of industrially sealed capsaicin. Okay, great. They had gotten Kachan's spicy stuff, so now they can go. Izuku didn't want to be in the city any longer. While the black market was friendlier than he expected, even if a crowd of sentients had excitedly gathered to watch Kachan die, he was absolutely drained from being in the city all day. His nerves were shot and he just wanted to get away from prying eyes and back to the safety of their clearing. Maybe work on the ship with Mei or help Kachan cook something with his new spices for dinner. Anything that didn't involve staying in these crowded streets. Okay, so should we head back now? I want to get back to Pyurpa and Pastel, and there's nothing else we need, right? Izuku asked the group. But unlike the, yeah, sure, let's go back now, he was expecting, Mina spoke up and said something along the exact opposite lines. Actually, I was thinking that maybe we could ask around for some information on the traffickers that kidnapped us. Like, we don't even know the group's name. Someone here might know something important. No way, Kachan suddenly cut in. We got what we came for. Time to head back. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves, asking to get found out. Mina snorted. Like your little can't kill me bitch stunt didn't draw any attention. No, just a whole crowd of slightly bloodthirsty aliens. Ochako was the next to speak up, and unlike Izuku had been hoping, she jumped right on Mina's side. That sounds like a great idea. We need to start planning how to get back at them and help everyone they've captured. And this way, we're not asking people who live in town suspicious questions. We'll be long gone before they can even get suspicious. I'm in, Denki excitedly chimed, followed by an agreeing cackle from Mei. Nope, you are idiots, Katsuki insisted. Mina just smiled smugly at him. 4 against 2, Blasty. Suck it up, buttercups. Izuku did not sign up for this. All he agreed to do was get some ship parts and spice, while Mina got whatever mysterious thing she needed. That was done. It was time to leave. But no, Kachan just grumbled as the group walked deeper into the black market, and Izuku couldn't do anything but follow helplessly behind.